Body and dash camera video obtained by 11 Investigates is raising new questions about a Toledo police arrest from earlier this year. The encounter ended with a Toledo officer punching Antonio Gilmer twice.
Months later, prosecutors dismissed nearly every criminal charge that grew out of that confrontation. Lead investigator Brian Duggar has been reviewing videos, police reports, and court records. He tells us what happened during the arrest and after. Brian?
As Toledo police prepare for a change in leadership, questions about officer conduct haven't gone away. 3 high-profile cases have taken place recently, but now an incident on Fernwood from earlier this year is raising additional questions. Prosecutors eventually dismissed nearly every criminal charge that grew out of this arrest. But before we tell you why, take a look at what happened. Now, we've synced the body and dash cam to give a complete picture of this incident. On January 28th, Toledo police officer Thomas McCafferty punches a man named Antonio Gilmer twice in the face.
Hand out of your pocket.
Oh my God, bro, y'all
Nearly 3 minutes later,
damn, that hurt. My hand's cold.
his body camera continues recording after the arrest.
I had my gun up in his side. I'm like, dude, if you keep going, I'm gonna shoot you.
11 Investigates received the videos and reports from Gilmer's attorney. Nearly every criminal charge stemming from this confrontation disappeared. And it all starts with what Toledo police describe as a routine stop. Antonio Gilmer is walking home at 1 in the morning after a quick trip to the store. He crosses Detroit onto Fernwood, and weather reports show it's 6 degrees, 3 days after Toledo's biggest snowfall of the season. Airport records indicate 10 inches of snow remained on the ground.
I have no gloves, no hat, nothing. I didn't even have socks on my shoes, and I had, socks on my feet, and I had on boots. So it's like I'm freezing, I'm just trying to hurry up and get home.
His pregnant girlfriend is waiting at their home. Officer McCafferty turns his cruiser around, activates his lights, and stops behind Gilmer. Gilmer continues walking, explaining to 11 Investigates that he couldn't hear officers yelling at him to stop.
Stop. Get your hands out of your pockets.
But McCafferty clearly can be heard in the body cam instructing him to stop. Gilmer then runs for a brief distance as Justin Voles chases after him. He then stops.
My intentions was not to run. My intentions was to, get out the way. I can't see the sidewalk, so I don't know how far the sidewalk is. So I'm just trying to get to the sidewalk because, the only reason why they would stop me is because I'm in the middle of the street.
His attorney says he did nothing wrong.
They needed reasonable suspicion to stop him. Walking across Detroit Avenue with no crosswalk, with no traffic, is not an offense for which the police officers were allowed to pull up behind him and demand that he stop and be seized under the Fourth Amendment.
Gilmer is legally carrying a concealed handgun in his right coat pocket.
I was carrying a firearm, yes, because for my protection. It's a lot of people that get mistaken for identities of anybody. I have dreads. People I know that's close to me have dreads, so it can be a mistake identity.
Toledo police are looking for whoever killed 47-year-old Antonio Gilmer.
His father had been murdered in August 2023 on the same street. The case has not been solved.
What can I do to protect myself? As me being a black male that's over 21 that's allowed to protect herself. I'm allowed to stand my ground.
And what happened next became the basis for a 5-count indictment. The indictment alleges Gilmer attempted to remove his handgun, that he knowingly grasped the handgun, obstructed officers, and resisted arrest. But on July 23rd, prosecutors dismissed nearly every charge except receiving stolen property.
Absolutely none of that is backed up in the dash cam or the body cam.
Get your hand out of your pocket right now.
Once Gilmer is taken back to the squad car, Officer McCafferty struggles to control Gilmer's right arm and draws his own gun.
All I remember is just getting, manhandled and then punched.
It was a closed fist.
Yes.
Twice?
Yes.
The police report never identifies which officer punched Gilmer, though the dash cam shows it's McCafferty. It also never mentions that the strikes were closed fist punches. it simply states Gilmer was struck and taken to the ground. After the arrest, officers are heard making jokes on the body cam.
We are seeing the police officers celebrating their use of force and their violation of our clients' civil rights. I understand adrenaline is pumping and you can be excited. You're excited after you win a football game. You're not excited after you draw a gun on a human being and shove it into their chest.
Gilmer pleaded no contest to receiving stolen property. Now, his attorney says Gilmer had no idea the gun had been reported stolen, but because it involved a gun, he risked a mandatory year in jail if he went to trial and lost. Instead, he received 2 years probation. Now, we have learned that there's no internal affairs investigation and nothing was done outside of department policy. This is according to a police spokesman. Now, we have not received the officer's disciplinary files. Reporting in the newsroom, this is Brian Duggar for 11 Investigates.